Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to continue our experiment with the fuel economy in a vintage Penguin Cygnus roller lighter. We filled this lighter on Saturday after a really paltry attempt, the third attempt at determining just how long a Cygnus lighter will hold its fuel. So we filled it up Saturday, didn't touch it yesterday. Of course, we don't work on Sunday, that being the Lord's Day. So now we are going to check it out on what amounts to 2 full days, but into the third day of fueling after filling it up on Saturday. Really took me by surprise. I have seen these Cygnus lighters before where they only held fuel for a day or so, but usually that is during warmer weather. It's pretty mild around here right now. And it was bone dry on that second day in our last attempt, or into the third day, about where we're at now. But we haven't fueled this one, or we fueled it on Saturday and haven't even had a chance to strike it since then. So let's just see what we got. Well, there you have it. So between fueling this lighter on Saturday, setting it on the shelf, you can see that ember. That's crazy. That just sparking that lighter caused that ember to burn, and of course our wick to burn away with it. We will take our bent pair of pliers, grasp a hold of the wick, and pull that up. This requires a little bit of patience. There you can see our wick coming up. Go ahead and pull that a little bit higher. There we go. Now we will bloom the top of this out. Give us the best opportunity for ignition. Remove our fuel screw and get our bottle of petrol over here and ready. Fuel screw removed. It looks pretty wet down in there, although it did drink it all up. Now we've got fuel just kind of pooling down there in that hole. So we will shake the excess off of camera. And now replace our fill screw. Fill screw replaced, and fuel all over the bottom of my hand says that it was leaking fluid out the top. So we got several days here now until Sunday comes back around, so we ought to be able to record, including today, 6 straight days of updates. And although today, the beginning of this video did not prove fruitful for us, as the lighter was dry of fuel and would not ignite. Not throwing spark there, or at least not throwing the kind of spark that you would expect. So I think there was still a little bit of fuel in there. That will happen if you get that whole area up there wet. You see that a lot in the Ronson type automatic lighters, that you fuel them up and then you go to strike them. This one is dried out now and looks good, but it may take a minute. You may need to blow on that ignition area. If your file wheel is wet, it probably will not produce the shower of sparks that you need it to. Now that we have that all dried out, got our wick pulled up. Looks like it is igniting exactly like we would hope for it to. So we will see you guys tomorrow. All right, today is Wednesday. We filled this lighter up on Monday and intended to record an update yesterday on Tuesday, but I got busy listing lighters and ashtrays for sale. So here we are with a bit of a belated update. This would be about 2 full days since the lighter has been fueled. We started this series of videos because of a comment from a gentleman named Pedro Paulo, who claimed that he could only get 1 day of fuel economy out of his Cygnus lighter. And I don't doubt that. Depending on the heat, the humidity, maybe some other factors, whether or not the lighter is always kept straight upright. You know, somebody that smokes a pack a day of tobacco cigarettes, they might expend the entire contents of the fuel tank of a Cygnus just in actuating the lighter. So here we are, roughly 48 hours after we fueled the lighter, after no update yesterday on Tuesday. And that appears as though this lighter is dry, which I think should put to bed any notion that you could depend on this lighter for more than a couple of days, and apparently not even a couple of days. Like I've said before though, not that big a deal when you have the ability to carry around fire in your pocket just to grab your can of fuel. And we're going to go ahead and fuel up another Cygnus lighter while we're here. Keep them both upright and see if they both last about the same amount of time. Sometimes you got to squeeze that bottle so that you can get some excess air into that nozzle to force that fuel out. That is a little bit over full. And we've got a little bit of fuel coming out the bottom here. So we're not even going to shake that out. That looks like that wadding had absorbed that pretty good. And now one of the OGs as far as the really cool Cygnus lighters in my collection. This is one of the two original ones that really stood out. This one and the emerald green with the gold accents. Looks like it is still absorbing that fuel and not coming out the wick just yet. And now it is not absorbing any more of that. So that is a little bit too much, more than I want to leave in there. So I'm just going to shake that out off camera right quick. And replace the fuel screw. Do have some petrol fuel that has gotten on my hands and fingers. You want to make sure and let that dissipate before you try to ignite your lighter. That wick is really wet. And apparently, as I could feel that as I actuated that roller, I could feel fluid hitting me in the face. So definitely a little bit of vapor lock going on here and a wet file wheel as well. So it is definitely full. Actually over full. And then our nice engraved scroll work, Cygnus, and no problem at all with it lighting up. So keep your eyes open for the update. The silver one definitely appears as though it's good for no more than 2 days. We'll see about this gold tone engraved scroll work lighter. Until next time.